Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Nathan.
Welcome to this week's episode of Adventures and Mousecapades. This week, we're talking about how it's actually quite easy for us to tell if one of our children is sick because they sleep a lot.
Yes.
And just are lethargic.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they are not.
No, they are.
So, long story short, our poor little Sterling is dealing with a fever and he's sleeping a lot.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's just a fever, but bodies get really ucky and tired when that happens.
This makes me feel a little better about one of the worst parenting fails that I've had in a long time, which was forgetting to sign him up for summer camp, OA camp, even though I put it into the calendar like I had signed him up, because he would have had to leave today and he was sick, and so he would have missed it. So thank you to the good Lord above for pre-making that mistake, but it's not a mistake, I guess.
Yeah,
sure.
He's not going to be able to go to camp this week, so let's just make Nathan forget to register. Yeah, okay,
exactly.
That's it.
I appreciate saving $600.
More shopping money for us.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go spend that at D23, shall we?
Or Club 33.
D, all the above.
One of the threes, yeah.
Well, one of the Club 33 will eat all of that, or more specifically, the merch stand at D23 will eat all of that for sure. We need to make sure we're bringing an extra suitcase.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do a lot of merch, I'm sure, just between the parks, the convention, and the special dinner.
Yes, absolutely. Anyhow, we should probably talk about what we're going to talk about, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, today we're going to talk about the original Disney Vacation Club resort, the one that started it all, Disney's Old Key West Resort.
As a reminder, Disney Vacation Club is Disney's timeshare product that grants you accommodations at deluxe class hotels in Walt Disney World, Florida, in Disneyland in California, a couple of off-site resorts in Hawaii and Vero Beach, Florida, and Hilton Head, North Carolina.
If you want to know more about how DVC works, you can check out our episodes 98 and 14 of this here podcast. And just so folks know, we are DVC owners at both the Aulani Resort in Hawaii and at the Villas at Disneyland Hotel. So there are a bunch of other episodes and trip reports where we talk about staying in Disney Vacation Club accommodations there and in Florida too.
Also, an important disclaimer, this is not a sponsored ad for timeshare purchases. We are not affiliated with Disney, and we're just big fans of DVC and know lots of folks have questions about how it all works. If you do want to talk specifics about ownership, we highly recommend checking out DisneyVacationClub.com or reaching out to DVC directly. And if you're in a Disney park, a resort, or a cruise ship, there's bound to be a DVC information desk close by to help you out. And if you have just any general questions on what our thoughts are, we are happy to answer those too.
Absolutely. All right. So as I mentioned before, that very important legal disclaimer, usually it's just kind of a generic disclaimer. This one, because real estate's involved. No, seriously, this is not an ad. This is not sponsored. The original name for Disney's Old Key West Resort was Disney's Vacation Club Resort.
Yeah.
Really, really original there. This opened on October 1st in 1991. It was Disney's very first timeshare property.
This property is inspired by the Florida Keys. It's relaxing and peaceful vibes. Makes you think of sun. I mean, you're in Florida. And there's pastel bright colors. Very nice.
This resort has the largest rooms of all of the DVC resorts. And that's saying something because most of these DVC rooms are quite roomy. But Old Key West is very, very nice.
Yes, it is. It is. It's located near the Disney Springs area, which is also very nice. And members that purchased into Disney Vacation Club prior to mid-1996 into Old Key West received free park admission during their stays at Old Key West until the year 2000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore. In 1996, this was renamed to Disney's Old Key West Resort, and there was a major refurb in 2017 through 18 with a refresh scheduled for 2026. So those refreshes are more soft goods. So think beddings and mattresses and cushions on couches and things like that, where the major refreshes are kind of full overhauls of all of the rooms and other areas.
Mm-hmm. As with other Disney Vacation Club properties, this is a deluxe villa resort hotel category, and it is, like we said, in the Disney Springs area. What?
Properties.
Oh
Just
my
the way
gosh,
you
wow,
say it
that
just
got
made
stuck
me.
in your...
I had to get it out. Sorry.
Okay. The resort layout is, in a word, sprawling.
Yeah.
There are 50 individual buildings, and they can be up to 3 floors high. One of the downsides is most of these buildings do not have elevators. There are only 3 buildings out of the 50 that have elevators, and those are close to the main lobby-ish area.
Do you know, and this is not in the notes, is that something you can reserve in a specific room? Like, is there a handicap accessible room or something like that where you need to book?
All the buildings have a ground floor that are accessible.
Fair enough. Okay. That's
Yeah.
all right. Because I know with DVC, it's not necessarily capable to request a specific building. You can make some general guidelines requests, like, high floor or close to the lobby or something like that, but there's not guaranteed. And I was just thinking, like, oh, if there's only elevators in a few buildings, how does that work out? But yeah, fair point. Every single building has several rooms that are accessible on the ground floor.
With any of the resorts, you can request accessible room options. So there are going to be rooms that are specifically accessible.
Sure, and that's going to be your bathrooms or some of your sinks in the kitchens and things like that, where they're more setups. But yeah. Okay, cool.
But when they initially built this resort, it was before all the ADA compliance stuff. So
Got it.
that's why there's no elevators in the buildings, except for the newer ones that they built in 62, 63, and 64.
No, those are the numbers. That's not when they were built.
Yes.
Yes.
The building numbers.
Yes. There are 531 villas here at Old Key West. Now, some of those are split, so you can have a 1-bedroom combined with a studio. So if those do get split up between 2 different parties, and that's, of course, a lock-off. It's not like you have some random family hanging out in the room with you. That can grow up to 761 villas. There are no dedicated studio or 1-bedroom. So pretty much most of this are those lock-offs. There's 230 of them that have 1-bedroom plus a studio that can be a locked door in between them. The studio side of that is 390 square feet, and the 1-bedroom is 1,005.
There are also 274 dedicated 2-bedroom villas. These are ones that are... as noted, dedicated 2 bedrooms. They do not have a locking door in between the 1-bedroom and studio. It's just your 2-bedroom. And these are 1,410 square feet.
Wow, you get 15 more square feet.
Woohoo.
And then lastly, there are 27 grand villas. These are 2,375 square feet. They're on 2 floors of one of the buildings. There are multiple bedrooms, full setup. It is swanky.
By multiple, we mean 3.
Well, yes, fair enough. If you want to get detailed about it, sure.
Well,
What are you looking for, facts?
I think these are also the least expensive points-wise for a 3-bedroom villa in the Disney World area.
Huh, good to know. Let's talk DVC points. points here at Old Key West start at 9 points a night for a studio in September, which is kind of the slow season, and run all the way up to 106 points a night for a 3-bedroom grand villa during the holidays in late December.
Yep. Pretty par for the course.
As a reminder, Disney runs their timeshares on a point system, not based on a specific week or something like that. So you buy a contract with so many points per year, and then you can use that either at your home resort or at another resort. There's different booking windows. Again, I'll refer you back to episode 98 or an early one of ours on episode 14 if you want to understand better how all that works.
I'm sure at some point we'll do another refresh with verbiage and all that good stuff.
Indeed. The next time it changes, I'm sure.
Yeah. The DVC contract points expiration for Old Key West is January 31st, 2042. DVC contracts are for 50 years. In 2007-2008, Disney offered a 15-year extension of points to owners, and it extended out until 2057.
Yeah, so this is the only resort where they've done this. It will be interesting to see if this is something they continue to do. Just anecdotally, there is a resale market, and we talk about this in the other episodes. But Disney, in the deed and the contract, has first right of refusal for any resales. And what we have heard in the grapevine in the DVC community is that in the last several months here in mid-2024, Disney is starting to pull the trigger on first right of refusals for original contracts that were supposed to be ending in 2042. So nobody's really sure what exactly that means and what that might signal, but it is a thing. I think there was 1 month, a couple months ago, or one of the main resale markets noted that, hey, every single contract that was a resale on that original 2042 date in Old Key West did not pass first right of refusal. Disney snapped them all up. And that was after, I want to say 6 to 9, maybe even 12 months or more of Disney like letting every single resale go through. So something's changing. We just don't know what it is.
Yeah, and they're not saying. And I don't know how many contracts are out there that are the original.
Yeah.
Not everybody, obviously, not everybody extended their contract to 2057. There's some people just didn't make sense for them to do.
Right.
So yeah. Who knows?
We don't know what to make of that, but it is a thing. If you hear about it, just now you know.
Yeah.
On to the basics. Like all DVC hotels, at least in Florida, check-in is at 4. And that's different than the hotels. Hotels are at 3. The DVC villas are at 4 p.m. Checkout is at 11 p.m. I wish checkout is at 11 a.m. Lobby services are available in the main building. That is where there's all sorts of concierge and check-in. There's some restaurants. There's some shops and all sorts of stuff going on there in DVC. Unlike the other resorts that we've looked at recently in this series, which have been Grand Floridian and Bay Lake Tower, this is a standalone DVC resort. So you don't have the same grand lobby kind of thing going on. There's not necessarily a like parking hosts and valet and all the rest of that stuff. This is really meant as a stop for you to check in, get some groceries or merch or get a lunch or something like that at the restaurant or breakfast. The pool and all the rest of that stuff is there at the main building, and then you pretty much are driving off to whatever building your room actually is in, because as Alicia mentioned, this is a very sprawling location.
Laundry is in the 1-bedroom and higher villas. There are common laundry rooms also available for those that are in the studio villas. At each of the 4 pool locations, there is a 24-hour laundry service available.
Nice. Looking over at transportation, like all Disney resorts, this is on the bus system. There are 5 stops all around the various neighborhoods that will get you over to the parks, get you to the water parks, and wherever else you need to go on Disney property. There's also a water taxi or a boat to get over to Disney Springs. So this is kind of cool. It's a little bit of a far trek. We've done it a few times before. I want to say it's 20 or 25 minutes for those little guys to putter on over, but it's a nice, relaxing way to get over to Disney Springs. Of course, you can get there by the bus too.
Yeah, it's very nice in the evenings.
Yeah, if you need to get somewhere, this is one of those, you're either going to take the bus, and just remember there's lots of other stops. So depending on where you are in the resort, a bus may get full. This would be where I would heavily recommend you've got a rental car, use your rental car to get to one of the parks or wherever you're going. Now, that's just my personal opinion. You can be successful using the bus to get around or things like that. But
rental car, ride share, relying on Disney transportation can take a lot longer than you are expecting it to at resorts like Old Key West.
Hey, Alicia, what's in the rooms?
Beds.
Cool. Oh, shoot. I read that as room amenities, not resort amenities. Never mind. Let's try this again.
Okay.
Hey, Alicia, what's at the resort?
Stuff.
Sweet.
There's this resort has 4 pools. They have the main pool is called the Sand Castle Pool. That is the one that's closest to the DVC main building. And right next to the lake, it has a water slide, a sand beach, and a whirlpool hot tub type thing.
There are 3 additional pools all around the resort, kind of in the main neighborhood hub areas. And all of those have a little whirlpool spa as well.
Yep. And like most of the DVC resorts, there is a community hall over at the main building where you can play foosball. There's video games, movies you can check out. You can also check out equipment for like the tennis courts or basketball or pickleball, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. There's an exercise room. There's bike rentals. There's what's a Surrey bike rental?
Think of it like a foot-powered golf cart.
Oh, very cool.
They're going Flintstones here. Yeah. I did not realize that Old Key West had these. I know that Boardwalk has the Surrey bikes. But yeah, it was nice seeing that Old Key West has these as well. I mean,
cool.
It's big enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Very much. There's tennis courts, pickleball, basketball, volleyball. You've got playgrounds. There's a running trail. There's a golf course that intertwines through the resort there. There is lots of stuff to do.
Lots of stuff.
If you need to fill up your time or you're just taking a wonderful resort day and maybe not putting 25 miles on your legs in a park.
Mm-hmm. For dining at Old Key West, there's not a lot on site, but you are a short boat ride away from so many options at Disney Springs. Mm-hmm. The restaurant there, the sit-down restaurant we've been to a couple of times, is Olivia's Cafe. It's American-style breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Very good.
It's amazing. Yeah. Olivia's is fantastic. Highly recommended. Mm-hmm. Wonderful food. They will absolutely take care of you there.
There's also a counter service restaurant located right around there called Goods Food to Go.
There is the Gurgling Suitcase Libations and Spirits Bar there at the main building. Good stuff, of course, on tap there. Ha ha ha, see what I did. And there's the Turtle Shack Poolside Snacks, which is, again, a counter service pool at the pool on Old Turtle Pond Road.
Counter service food.
Yeah, it's not a counter service pool. I may have said that wrong. That would be weird. Is that just a glass of water?
A swim up? I don't know.
All right. So what are your thoughts on this place, Alicia? We've been there a couple times.
Mm-hmm. You know, I really liked Old Key West. It was very much a low key vibe. A Key West vibe, if you will. Nice and relaxing. The downside was, lugging the suitcase up all the stairs.
Yes.
Suitcases. But the rooms are very nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if when we initially stayed was before the refurb.
Correct. It was before refurb.
And when the last time we stayed,
Was after refurb.
Was after refurb, but it was one of the studio rooms.
Right.
So it was okay. Yeah.
It was good. I think I'd prefer a one bedroom side if we were going to do that again. But they're huge rooms. They're super comfortable, lots of space to spread out. It's not kind of the boxy vibe that you get out of a lot of the more modern resorts.
Yeah.
If memory serves, that first room we stayed in, the one bedroom, when our first visit was, I don't know if there was a 90-degree angle anywhere in the whole suite because it kind of like wrapped around kind of a corner of the building or something like that. I'm not saying that in a bad thing. It's just, it's not kind of the shotgun design that you get with a lot of rooms these days, where you walk in and you've got the kitchen and there's a banquette that's, a half bench and a couple chairs for your dining table. And it's not the typical design, which I actually kind of appreciate very much.
Yeah. If you're staying here to mainly stay here and just kind of, I guess, relax, maybe not necessarily a whole bunch of park stuff, this is a very relaxing resort. It doesn't really have a lot of the on-site things to do like some of the other ones do, because it is just a DVC property. You don't have the regular hotel rooms that some of the other ones do.
You don't have the regular hotel amenities. It's not a destination resort in and of itself.
Yeah.
I would say we could be happy as a family going to the Grand Floridian or going to the Riviera and not having a bunch of park days or any park days. Like, those could be destination resorts. I think Wilderness Lodge is in the same category there. Like, there's a ton to do on site. And if you never make it over to a park, you're fine. Old Key West, and I think this kind of goes back to it's the original intent of a DVC resort. It's just a timeshare that lets you stay on property at Disney World. The expectation is that you're going to be in the parks a lot more.
Yeah.
Yes, they have pools. They have a local restaurant. They have a little grocery store on site. Well, not full grocery store, but if you've been at DVC, you get it. It's kind of a quick mart kind of setup. You can spend a good day there. There's a pool, all the rest of that stuff, and be fine. But it's really not meant to be the destination in and of itself.
Yeah.
I think the more modern, newer DVC resorts could stand alone if you wanted them to, as a DVC resort, as a destination, and you'd never make it into a park, and you'd feel like you had a fantastic time and it was worth your money.
No notes.
Yeah. It's great for what it is. It's absolutely fantastic for what it is. And we will, of course, be staying there again at some point, I think in the near future. I can't remember. We have a whole bunch of reservations for a bunch of trips. We don't. Okay, got it. I couldn't remember.
we have Saratoga. We have
Animal Kingdom.
And I have a wait list for the Wilderness Cabins.
Ooh, nice.
We'll see if one of those goes through. I don't know if it will. That has the highest chance of a wait list going through, though, because there are 300 cabins and there's only one type of category for those. So better chance.
We'll see. We'll see. Is that one of the trips where we'll have kids?
No.
Oh, fantastic. Because I don't want kids in my bedroom with the bunk beds. And with that, on that note, we are not affiliated with Disney or their subsidiaries. These are personal opinions and suggestions based on our own experiences. We recommend working with a travel agent or contacting Disney directly to plan your perfect vacation.
If you have any questions or suggestions, or if you would like to be interviewed on our show to share your Disney experience, please send an email to podcast@ourmousecapades.com.
Go ahead and follow us on social media. We're at Our Mousecapades. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, YouTube, and even Twitter sometimes, for now.
Please do take a moment, give us a rating and review in your podcast app. It really helps people find us and just makes us feel nice, too, to get reviews from you all.
Absolutely. And of course, don't hesitate to share us with your friends and fellow Disney lovers of all ages.
Thank you for listening. We'll be in your ears next week.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.
All right. So as I was talking about earlier, the original name. Oh, all right. So as I was talking about originally, oh my bill.
Once more with feeling.
Indeed. All right. So while, oh my God.